What we see here is a Tatung model CFC-52. This thing is absurdly chunky, as you can kind of see by how bloody thick the motor housing is. There's the tag. The motor is a spinner motor, stamped steel. The blades attach to a metal flywheel that is bolted onto the bottom of the spinner motor. You can kind of see the bolts inside that bolt. There are 4 bolts bolting the metal flywheel on, right as you see here. This thing is also, as you can kind of tell here, variable speed. Pullchain, I believe, I haven't opened it yet to confirm, but I believe it is a Leviton pullchain, which is forward off, reverse off. So it's a forward reverse pullchain. Let's put the knob all the way down. See what it does. That is, got to tweak the knob to get it to do something. The trim pot's way down. So I'll have to adjust it at some point. It's interesting because the top of the motor, the downrod coupling, almost looks like it could have accommodated a stack motor in the past, at some point in its development. And the motor housing is definitely thick enough for something akin to a K63. If I had one of these with a bad motor or something of that nature, I would probably shove a K63 in this thing and really make it fun. So basically what's inside this thing is a spinner, spinner configuration spinner motor, like something from an actual spinner fan. So when they wanted to make a standard fan like this one, they only had so much on hand that they could use. So what they did early on is they took a spinner motor off the assembly line, bolted a flywheel onto the bottom of it, and just shoved it in this thing. So yeah, that's pretty much what this thing is. All right. Put the knob up another notch. As So you can see it has a bell canopy, but the mounting bracket is actually akin to what Casablanca and Homestead used. You know, you have the yoke, and you shove a bolt through it, which slides through the mounting bracket, and you know the hex heads. You know, it's a hex bolt, the hex nut, and the sides of the nut and the bolt sit on the bracket, keeping it in place, holding it tight. It uses gravity to keep things tight, which I always found kind of interesting. So, chunk. Put up another wee notch. This is, I think, a medium. It is a solid state variable speed control, so it does buzz, per usual. Switch straight to high. It performs relatively well. I want to say the RPM is maybe 185, 190. The blade pitch is relatively shallow since the motor inside it, like I said, came from a spinner fan, and those motors were pretty much geared for industrial use. You know, high speed with shallow pitch, low torque. So in order to compensate for that nature, they used shallow blade pitch. Like I said, this was one of their earlier attempts at a standard fan. Because every import fan, or every import manufacturer was pretty much making spinner fans at this point. Now, this fan, I want to say it dates to the very early 80s. Possibly, maybe, no, not late 70s, but definitely early 80s. So. I'm not really sure who the OEM is just yet. I need to open up the motor to find out. But, like I said, it's labeled Tatung. Oh. Turn it off. I'm going to find that fly and I'm going to slaughter it. Anyway. Now, let's just start it in high reverse. Now, similar to SMCs, or older SMCs as well as Lagunas, the fan runs faster in reverse. So for whatever reason, yeah, faster reverse. The import fans, usually it's downdraft is fastest and then updraft is slower, but in this case it's the other way around. Turn it off again. The bearings in this fan are very good, very smooth, as evidenced by the long spin down time. I'm going to find that fly and slaughter its entire family, I swear to God. Hopefully it heard me. That would be great. And there you have it, a Tatung CFC-52. Absurdly chunk. Very awesome. Wow.